Veteran 2 returns with a bang after 9 years. 2024. The story begins with a heated dispute in a parking lot. A pregnant woman, desperate to get to a hospital, refuses to give up her parking spot. The man involved, enraged, brutally murders her, leading to a double tragedy. Yet, in a shocking twist, the Korean judicial system claims the man's actions were unintentional, driven by uncontrollable rage, and hands down a mere 3-year prison sentence along with minimal compensation. Even this paltry punishment fails to deliver. The victim's family, drowning in mounting debts from the trial, receives no proper restitution. Overwhelmed by grief and financial ruin, they ultimately choose a tragic path: suicide. The public is outraged but powerless. 3 years pass in the blink of an eye. The murderer, John Suk-woo, is now on the verge of release. Veteran detective Seo Do-cheol, played by the legendary Hwang Young-min, is unexpectedly tasked with protecting John Suk-woo because Korea's judicial flaws have sparked an alarming trend of similar cases. As public resentment reached a boiling point, a mysterious figure known as the Judge emerged. For 2 years, this enigmatic figure has been targeting criminals who escaped justice due to legal loopholes. He uses the same methods the criminals once employed on their victims, leaving no trace for the police to follow. The public, seething with resentment, begins to see the judge as their savior. A popular broadcaster fans the flames by compiling a list of the country's most heinous offenders, those who've evaded proper punishment. Unsurprisingly, John Suk-woo is at the top, though Seo Do-cheol himself might secretly wish someone would take John Suk-woo out. His duty as a cop ties his hands. The day of John's release arrives. The streets are packed with furious protesters and opportunistic influencers. As the chaos escalates, one influencer brandishes a knife and edges closer to John Suk-woo. As the crowd swelled, Seo Do-cheol's team was forced to intervene, but the moment they stepped out, they themselves became the target of the mob's fury. In the commotion, the knife-wielding influencer lunges toward John. Park Sun-woo swiftly subdued him, simultaneously catching Seo Do-cheol's attention. Later, during a team dinner, Park Sun-woo's swift and decisive actions earned the admiration of Seo's squad. It turns out that while Park Sun-woo was highly skilled, he often lacks restraint. In fact, he was once suspended for using excessive force and reassigned to patrol duty as a consequence. Despite this, Seo sees potential in Sun-woo and invites him to join his team, jokingly remarking that he should have just let the influencer finish John off. Sun-woo, flattered, eagerly agrees, revealing that Seo Do-cheol inspired him to become a cop in the first place, a compliment that goes over well with Seo. Not long after, the police station received another chilling video. A university professor had his leg shattered before being thrown off a rooftop. The professor's crime? Assaulting one of his students, but thanks to distorted facts, he was acquitted in court, with the case dismissed as consensual. Unable to endure the verdict, the victim tragically took her own life. In the video's final moments, the judge reveals recent footage of John Suk-woo's release, marking him as the next target. Public outrage intensifies as a popular streamer starts a nationwide poll. Should John live or die? The majority votes for execution. Alarmed, higher-ups order John to be taken into police protection. With a massive crowd outside, Seo Do-cheol's team devises a diversion, splitting into groups disguised as John to lead the mob away. Meanwhile, Park Sun-woo drives the real John to a safe house, but Sun-woo's unsettling smirk hints at something deeper. At the safe house, John scoffs at the poor conditions, while Sun-woo locks an exit door in the bathroom with deliberate intent. Elsewhere, Seo receives a call from his wife about an urgent matter. Meeting her at her friend's hardware store, she shows him a disturbing video. Her friend, recently widowed and receiving a modest insurance payout, has become the target of malicious online accusations. A malicious rumormonger accused her friend of plotting her husband's death and having an affair with an insurance agent, all to claim an insurance payout of 1 billion won. In reality, the payout was minimal, and the insurance agent in question was a woman. Yet the relentless mob harassment has escalated to vandalism, with someone shattering her windows at night. Seo reassures his wife, promising to increase patrols in the area and to personally handle any issues. Back at the station, Seo and his team are interrupted mid-meal by a shocking live stream. The streamer who started the poll claims to have contacted the judge and announces an exclusive live reveal later that night. The team scrambles to locate the broadcast site. Meanwhile, at the safe house, John receives a mysterious phone call. Following the caller's instructions, he retrieves a hidden key from the toilet tank. Elsewhere, a man's lifeless body is discovered dumped in the street, eerily killed in the same manner as John's pregnant victim from 3 years ago, a fatal blow to the skull. Seo Do-cheol and his team catch wind that the judge will appear on a streamer's live broadcast. Setting an ambush, they lie in wait. Sure enough, Park Sun-woo spots a man in black. Their eyes meet, and an intense chase ensues. Despite being surrounded, the suspect skillfully evades capture, but Park's stamina and determination give him the upper hand. The two tumbled down the staircase, and before subduing the suspect, Park unleashed several devastating throws. By the time Seo Do-cheol arrives, the man is unconscious and unrecognizable. Meanwhile, back at the dormitory, guards belatedly realize John Suk-woo has escaped through a window. Not long after, Seo's team receives news that John has been found dead. In other words, the captured judge was a fake, hired by the streamer to boost viewership and solicit donations. Worse, John's true cause of death wasn't from head trauma but strangulation marks around his neck. As the team processes this, another horrific event unfolds. That night, a sports car takes out 12 reckless bikers on an overpass in a calculated act of revenge. Surveillance footage led the police to suspect Min Kan-hoon, a former Special Forces soldier whose wife was killed 2 years ago in a crash caused by the same biker gang. Evidence mounts against Min. His car was spotted near John Suk-woo's murder scene, and his military background makes him a prime candidate for the judge. However, his descent into drug addiction after his wife's death complicates matters. Following leads, Seo and Park track Min to a drug dealer's hideout, finding his car loaded with orange juice bottles and confidential police documents, including safe house locations. It's clear Min Kan-hoon has a mole within the police aiding his mission. After a thorough search, Park Sun-woo and Seo Do-cheol are the first to locate Min Kan-hoon's hideout. Seo, cautious of the drug dealers on site, steps out to call for reinforcements. Park, however, charges in without hesitation. He spotted a syringe on the ground, picked it up, flashed a sinister smile, and injected it into his own thigh. What follows is an intense fight. Despite Min Kan-hoon's Special Forces background, his drug addiction leaves him outmatched against Park's relentless ferocity. Just as Park is about to deliver a lethal strike with the syringe, Seo arrives in time to stop him. Min escapes but is quickly cornered on the rooftop by Park. With precise movements, Park traps him in a crushing scissor hold, immobilizing him completely. Seo arrives at the scene and freezes, stunned by the sheer brutality of the encounter. He quickly intervenes, and with the help of his team, manages to separate the two. As Seo attempts to handcuff Min, the fugitive launches a desperate counterattack. Locking eyes with Park, Min's face fills with terror, while Park's lips curl into a chilling smirk. In an unexpected twist, Park shoves Min toward the balcony. Then, in a baffling move, he shifts their positions, making it appear as though Min is trying to push him off the edge. With a final burst of strength, Park throws both himself and Min over the side. While Park lands safely on a nearby awning, Min is left dangling precariously. Seo and his team rush to save Min, hauling him back to safety just in time. But as Seo looks at Park, his expression turns contemplative. Doubt and suspicion cloud his mind. Who really is Park Sun-woo? The revelation, Park Sun-woo unmasked. Determined to uncover the truth, Seo Do-cheol visits the forensic pathologist alone to revisit the details of John Suk-woo's death. As Seo suspected, John had died from asphyxiation. However, the cause wasn't hands or rope, it was a leg choke, a move used in mixed martial arts. Reviewing the video footage, Seo's eyes narrow. He quickly searches for videos of Park Sun-woo in action. Sure enough, Park is skilled in using the triangle choke. Seo's suspicions are confirmed. Park Sun-woo is the judge. Wasting no time, Seo calls his colleagues, instructing them to investigate Park. What Seo doesn't realize is that Park has been monitoring his every move. Seo later gathers his team to share his findings. He reveals a critical connection. The other figure in the video was Min Kun-hoon. Through this encounter, Park had not only found Min but also supplied him with all the information about his wife's killers, likely as part of a deal for Min to impersonate the judge. Seo also realizes that Park's desperation to kill the fake judge hired by the streamer wasn't random, it was deliberate. If the imposter died, he would be assumed to be the real judge, allowing Park to escape suspicion. The same strategy applied to Min Kun-hoon, but when Seo rushes to the hospital to confront Park, he finds no trace of him. Park Sun-woo has vanished. As Seo Do-cheol steps out of the building, his phone rings. It's Park Sun-woo. Along with the call comes a chilling video. Seo's son is tied up, doused in gasoline. Meanwhile, in an abandoned tunnel, Park has also captured the hardware store owner, strapping her to the driver's seat of a car with a sharp steel pipe aimed directly at her. The setup mimics the accident that killed her husband years ago, when an unsecured steel pipe impaled him after a collision. Seo races to the tunnel and arrives to find the floor littered with broken glass. Nearby, a man tied to a chair, caught in this chaos for the sake of online clout, sat trembling in panic. The phone rings. It's Park Sun-woo again. This time, Park delivers an impossible ultimatum. Seo must choose between saving his son or the two hostages in front of him. To save his son, Seo must kill the hostages. Park's cameras in the tunnel ensure that if Seo commits murder, he'll be framed as the judge. Desperate, Seo looks at the video of his son but ultimately chooses to save the hardware store owner first. As he acts, headlights flood the tunnel. Park Sun-woo steps into view. It turned out that Park Sun-woo wasn't acting alone. Just as the situation seems grim, Seo receives a message from his team.
이러다 살게 어딨어 임마!
The situation was instantly turned around. Relieved, Seo now focuses entirely on stopping Park. In a fierce struggle, Park overpowers Seo and releases the hardware store owner's car brake, sending it rolling toward a collision. Seo tries to intervene but is wrestled down by Park again. As the truck barrels toward disaster, Seo watches helplessly until another vehicle appears, saving the woman just in time. Seo regroups, using his wits. Seizing Park, he slams him into the glass-strewn floor repeatedly, delivering punishing blows. But Park, resilient and relentless, recovers. He locks Seo in a devastating scissor hold, but Seo uses the broken glass to break free. In a final move, Seo overpowers Park, leaving him battered. Park counterattacked, toppling a nearby shelf. Although the live content creator wasn't exactly a good person, Seo instinctively shielded him, taking the hit himself. Park seizes the moment to flee in a car. Seo gives chase with his team, following him out of the tunnel. But as Park speeds toward the exit, he finds himself surrounded by police. Park attempts a desperate escape, turning back into the tunnel at full speed. A violent collision ensues. Thanks to seatbelts, Seo and his partner are unharmed, but Park is flung from the car, critically injured. Despite everything, Seo pulls Park from the wreckage and administers emergency aid. His goal isn't revenge but justice. Park must face the law. In the end, Seo's efforts succeed. Park Sun-woo survives, ensuring he'll be held accountable for his crimes in court. Justice, not vengeance, prevails.
넌 함부로 못 죽어 이 새끼야.